Hey, what's happening, guys? Yesterday, the channel reached what I consider a pretty cool milestone. We went over 20,000 subscribers, and that is just amazing. 1/5 of the way to a YouTube silver play button. I just want to thank each and every one of you guys. I mean, it just blows my mind. Look at this. We've had 2,216,414 views since I started the channel on November 10th, 2016. I mean, we're just approaching 2 years, and the growth has been incredible. You know, in the last 30 days, there have been almost 200,000 video views and 2,245 new subscribers. Holy cow. Can't thank you guys enough. Alright, that's it for that. Now, we got to get back to today's video, which I assure you is not a review, but more of an examination. Alright, what we're looking at today is the TS100 soldering iron. And, you know, it's been around for a while. I think it's been out since 2015. And I haven't had a chance to really take a look at one yet because it doesn't really interest me. I'm more of the soldering station kind of guy. But I had a couple requests to examine one of these. So I asked my friends at Banggood.com if they would send me one. And they did. So a big thanks to the guys at Banggood for sending this out to us free of charge. So when we open the package, we see we have some documentation here. Important safety instructions. A little bit of setup stuff. It tells you operating voltage and 12 volts, 16 volts power. At 24 volts, we should be able to get 65 watts. And it should heat up to 300 degrees Celsius in 11 seconds. So that's pretty cool, and we'll check that out. So in this package, you get the soldering iron body, one soldering iron cartridge which has a conical tip, a Allen key, and a couple of extra screws. Now, there's no internal battery in here, so you're going to have to power this. It uses a DC barrel jack. Unfortunately, it's like a 2.5, I think, rather than the standard 2.1. So be careful when you're looking for jacks. Now, if we open this up, we can take a look at the internal structure of it. I mean, there's been 100 reviews on YouTube, so I'm sure you guys have seen the internal structure of the TS100, but we'll go over it really quick here. The old way to remove sticker, eh? Oh well. Hold on one second. There's one hiding on both sides. So where we can open it up and have a look at the guts of her. Come a little closer here. Like I said, we've seen this 1,000 times, so I'm not showing you anything new. Back here you see the barrel jack. Then here is the STM32 board. Got what's probably an op amp there, inductor. And then these spring-loaded copper terminals up front, which is where these cartridges plug in. And I just need to loosen that set screw there a little bit. And you should be able to see the cartridge slide in there. Yeah. Huh. I guess I didn't loosen it quite enough, which is a good thing. There we go. So with the cartridge slid in, you can see it lines up there very nicely. Now there are many different shaped cartridges available, and everyone has their own preference, right? Right. Okay, so here's the TS100 all ready and set to go, except for the power cord. And if we put the old ruler up there, we can see it's about 6.5 inches from stem to stern. Or the metric version, looks like about 16.5 centimeters. Now, it is very compact, which I guess is nice. Now, I haven't used it yet, so I can't really give you an opinion on it yet. But here's my main soldering iron. This is my 937D Plus Chinese soldering station. And if we measure it from, let's say, we'll go from the back of the handle to the tip there. If I can get it all in the screen, right? So remember, the TS100 was 6.5 inches. And this guy is about 7.5. So, relatively speaking, they're about the same size. The difference being the circumference and diameter of this is about the size of like a magic marker. This is a bit smaller. Weight-wise, this is again lighter, but how that matters to anything, I really don't know. So, I got the power supply here on the bench set for 24 volts, which is the maximum input voltage it says. And if we look here, we can see that at 24 volts, we're going to get 65 watts, and it should come up to temperature in about 11 seconds. So I got the stopwatch set here. Power cable's ready. We'll plug her in and press the button. 25C now. Oh shoot. Well, we're off by about a second there, but we'll see what happens. 350 is, I believe, the temperature it's set for. Maybe 300, I'm not sure. Looks like about 300. And I'll come up about 12. So I would say that's pretty good. Let me find some solder here. And we'll do what I do with every new soldering iron, every new tip, is I like to tin it. That melts the solder, no problem at all. Get her nice and gooey there. Then clean it off. And I'm going to do that a couple times. Now, I know this thing has some other functions, whereas it goes to standby and such, but I've never played with it. So let's see what else we get here. Nothing much there. Nothing much there. How about I hold it? Okay, so there we can set it up. That's down, that's up. Let's see what I have my regular soldering iron set for. 350. So let's put this guy up to 350 so that we can compare them back and forth. Once that gets up to temperature, we'll check it out. Right now it's drawing about 650 milliamp. Okay, so it says it is up to temperature and ready to rock and roll. So I guess I should put on my headset, huh? Whoopsies. Sorry about that, guys. I'm kind of brain dead today. Okay, there we go. Now we're all mic'd up. I guess the first test of a soldering iron should be, will it solder? How does it solder? So here's a resistor. A little sticker in there and see how she does. Man, I am just all thumbs today. Okay, got my solder here now. Guys are always asking me what kind of solder I use. I use a plain 6040 solder with a flux core. This one is made by MG Chemicals, and it is 0.032 diameter. Alright. Get that in there so you folks can see it.
Seems to solder just fine. No trouble with that whatsoever. Right again, this time with an IC. And we'll see how she handles multiple joints in succession. Now, the handle is somewhat warm at this point. It's definitely warmer than my standard soldering station handle. So I don't know. I mean, it's been warm now for about a minute or so. Doesn't seem to have any trouble. Handle that just fine. No worries. Now, I don't have anything really big that we can try, but let me get a big chunk of wire and we'll try and splice it and see how it handles that kind of a joint. Alright, I got some 16 gauge stranded copper wire here, and we'll do a little lineman splice, or also call it a Western Union splice, or a NASA splice. Basically, you can call it whatever you want. This is just quick and dirty. But there is a lot of mass to that, so we'll see how she handles it. Start off with just a little solder for thermal transfer. We'll get in there and heat her up. Now, this is probably going to take longer than took a good 6-7 seconds to get our heat flowing there. Which is to be expected. But once we got it heated up, everything seems to be good. Of course, I forgot to put my headset on again. I am not with it today. I apologize, guys. Again, like I said, this is a big chunk of wire. But it handled it. No worries whatsoever. I got my headset duct taped to my head now, so I won't forget to put it on again. I powered this thing off so we can let it cool down here and just talk about it for a minute as to where its place in the world is, in my opinion. Of course, it's just my opinion. I mean, you may think it has a different place in the world. It's a soldering iron, and it solders as well as any other temperature-controlled soldering iron. Is this something that I would consider for my main soldering iron here on the bench? No, I don't think so. And it's not that, you know, a soldering station is any better. I mean, they're doing the same job. It does it just as well. But for the price, I mean, this iron with one cartridge is around $70. My soldering station with a whole packet of cartridges was $25. I see now that it's running for $30, but still, you know, we're looking at somewhere between a $40 or $50 price difference. Now, where I do think this may come in handy and where it may have a place in the world is out in the field. So if we look again here at our instructions, which again are very sparse, it'll run from 12 to 24 volts. So you could hook it up to your car. You could use a sealed lead acid battery. You could use a 4-cell LiPo battery, which are much lighter than the old sealed lead acid battery. Why would you want to use this in the field when you could get another battery operated or one of the butane type soldering irons? Well, because it's a temperature controlled iron, and those other irons, and I don't know every other iron out there for sale, so there may be an exception, but those other irons are what are called the thermally balanced irons. They're just going to get as hot as they get. Is that important? Well, if you're splicing wires, no, it's not important. If you're doing electronics, especially ICs, yes, it is important because the heat will damage them, or in some cases even destroy them, especially things that are silicone junction based, diodes, LEDs, just generally any IC. You want to get in and out and heat them as quickly as possible with the proper temperature, so something like this is excellent. So you're looking again at $70 for this. A 4-cell LiPo, I'm out of the game. I haven't bought any in a couple years, but probably for a cheap one, $20. For a good one, say $30 to $40. So now you're up over $100. But again, you get the portability. Now, there are a buttload of functions built into this, like it has an accelerometer, so it'll go to sleep and it'll wake up. Again, it's adjustable from these buttons, but it's also programmable. Let's hop over to the computer and let me show you what I mean. Okay, on the stern of the iron is a micro USB port. It is right above the barrel jack to power it. And if I plug it in here, did you hear that gadink? Okay, it powers up. And we can come in here and you can see it comes up as a disk. And the only thing on that is this config file, which we can open up, no problemo. And you see some things that we can set for the config. First off, we have the standby temperature, which is set to 200 degrees. Then we have our working temperature, which is set for 300. Our sleep time, 180 seconds. Our idle time, 360 seconds. Our temperature step is by 10 degrees. And off voltage here says 10 degrees. I'm going to just assume that that is our hysteresis. So that's nice. Now, you can upgrade the firmware in it by popping over to Miniware, the maker's forum, and you can see the address here, minidso.com, and then there's that address. Don't worry, I will put the link down below. And you see TS100 open source release, and there is an update for it right there. And all you have to do, oopsies, wrong button, pardon me, I am brain dead today. Maybe I should just go back to sleep. Anyway, all that you have to do, let me get rid of this screen. Okay, there we go. Now let me get rid of this screen. Brain dead, one moment. Okay, all that you have to do is download this little file, TS100 app 2.18.hex. You drag it over into there, and it updates with the latest firmware from Miniware. But what is also very nice about it is other folks have done their own firmware for it, and you can download that as well. Now here's a nice one I found by a guy named Raylim and Pixel. This is a complete rewrite of the firmware that has a lot of nice features. And if you noticed, when we plugged it in, it popped up with that little logo for Miniware. This one even has instructions on how you can change it. But anyway, this one features PID temperature control. Now that is the up and down control with hysteresis. Very nice. It allows you to keep the iron anywhere that you want it. So it also has the automatic sleep, motion wake, all the settings, all the stuff there is good, including the custom boot up logo support. So all that's pretty cool, right? So looking at all that stuff, I would definitely give this iron a thumbs up. This is a nice little unit. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but it's something that, you know, like I said, with a battery you could throw in your car somewhere, have it in your bag, ready to go with a temperature controlled soldering iron wherever you're at in the field. Pretty cool. So I want to thank Banggood for sending this to us for our consideration, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I mean, 20,000 subscribers in a 2-year-old channel is incredible. You guys are the best. And I give away a ton of this stuff. We have the 8008 multimeter giveaway going on. We have the A9Q1 giveaway, which is for my patrons. We'll be giving that away this coming Saturday. And just to show you guys how much I appreciate you, because I really don't have a use for this. My mobile soldering days are over. You know, I'm basically retired now. So, how about, I'm just going to randomly pick someone that I see their name a lot in the comments, somebody who comments a lot, is really involved in the channel. Dave Nyberg. Dave, if you're in the United States, email me arduino0169@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I'll put this in the mail to you. I love you guys. Thanks so much for making this channel awesome and giving me something interesting to do with my spare time. I love you guys. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Peace.